Hello friends and family, my name is Daniel Burrell and welcome to Diary of a Manic. You may notice a couple things about this video. First off, the quality isn't as good as a couple of my other videos, and that's because I was using my big camera before and it was taking about 9 hours to upload the videos to YouTube, and I really didn't want that. And also, I'm going to be reading off my computer screen a lot for this video because I have some statistics to read to you. And I was a little too lazy to memorize them all because there's a lot of stuff to remember. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. We're gonna talk about just generally mental health awareness today. I'm also gonna talk about some of my personal experiences with depression, and also some of my personal experiences with suicide and loss. And yeah, so if you want to know some deeply personal stuff about me, then keep on watching, because yeah, there's going to be some dark stuff here. First off, I'd like to talk about a high school student in Calgary who has raised over $20,000 for mental health research with his hashtag CHHS Let's Talk. I'll leave a link in the description for this Twitter. I don't know how many tweets he's had now, but his goal was 150,000, and he reached like 10,000 in a couple days or something. So yeah, if you want to go on Twitter and share your story or just read other people's stories, then yeah, feel free, because there's a lot of stuff on there. I even shared one of my videos to talk about depression, and yeah. Brett Rothery, the student, he's trying to keep the topic of mental health in the forefront, which is awesome, because there's not enough discussion about mental health. That's why I'm making these videos, just because nobody really seems to talk about it that often. It's only with special cases such as the suicide of Amanda Todd or even Robin Williams. And people think about that for a week and everybody's gung-ho about curing depression and all that stuff. But a week later, nobody really cares, and that kind of breaks my heart, because when Robin Williams committed suicide, like, don't get me wrong, that was very, very sad, because I love Robin Williams. I grew up with his movies. But there was that small part of me that was kind of excited, because I thought, like, hey, maybe someone will talk about mental health and maybe it'll become a bigger subject than it is right now. And yeah, everybody talked about mental health problems for a week, and then nobody cared after that. And it's kind of sad. And so I'd like to read some statistics for you guys. I think they're going to blow your mind, actually, because some of these statistics are really quite ridiculous. There's a ludicrous amount of people in Canada who have mental health issues. At any point in time, the percentage of people in Canada with a mood disorder or other mental health problem is 10.4%. That's 1/10 of the population, and also that's only the people that talk about it. There's such a stigma attached to depression nowadays that nobody wants to talk about it, nobody wants to admit it. And that's just the people that will admit that they have a problem. And there's so many people that won't. So, yeah, please stop this stigma attached to depression. People think depression is just someone having a bad day or a bad week, and I've lived with depression for 8 or 9 years now, and I gotta say, like, I've had my bad day or bad week, and then I've had my bad 2 months. Like, I'm not in a good place. house right now, and I've been this way for about 3 weeks, almost a month. Actually, it's been longer than that, probably a month and a half. So it's not just a bad day or a bad week. So suicide accounts for 24% of all deaths among Canadians aged 15 to 24. Now that is a crazy number. That is just crazy. And that's teenagers. Like I'm not even, I'm still 24. So yeah, it's just crazy. And 90% of people who commit suicide as a result of mental illness could have been diagnosed and found easy treatment to at least stray them away from suicide. That's 90%. That is unfortunate that 90% of those people could have been saved. That's heartbreaking. The percentage of all people in the world with a mental illness who won't seek help is 75%. And 90% of people with depression won't seek treatment. That's why there's so many people committing suicide. That's why there's so many kids committing suicide, because nobody wants to seek help. And again, I'm going to bring that back to there's a stigma attached to depression. That's wrong. There should be no stigma attached to depression, but these junior high and high school kids don't want to say anything because they think they'll be bullied because of it. There's no reason to bully someone because they have depression. That's the opposite of what you should do. So, yeah, I have some websites that I'm going to leave in the description. If you really want to keep your illnesses in the shadows, then you can look at these websites. There's some anonymous help websites, and there's anonymous phone services you can use as well. But my honest opinion is that you should really open up about it. There's so many people who can help you. You really need a support group. And I have amazing friends, and I have an amazing family, and an amazing wife. She's so helpful and understanding with all this stuff, and I couldn't imagine going through this without them. Now, like, there was so many years where I didn't want to admit that I had a problem, or I didn't want to talk to anybody about it because I didn't want to get bullied, and I didn't want my parents to judge me because of it. And like, I probably would have been a different person today had I talked to my parents about it earlier. And it's just quite unfortunate that I waited even until I did to talk to someone about it. So yeah, now for my personal stories. I want to talk about loss and suicide a little. Not me committing suicide per se, but I actually had a friend. I must have been 16, and we worked together at Canadian Tire, and we only worked together for about 3 months. But this guy was just the nicest guy in the world. He would give you his shirt off his back if you asked for it, and we became pretty good friends in those 3 months. But I was dealing with my own depression at that time, so I didn't really want to spend a lot of time with him outside of work. I always felt I was always anxious about that kind of thing because I didn't have a lot of friends in high school. I'm going to admit it. I didn't have a lot of friends in junior high or high school, and I was just afraid to hang out with them. And one day I came to work and he was supposed to show up and he wasn't there, and I thought, oh, he must have just called in sick or that even wasn't like him, but that's what I thought. And then I went away for the weekend, and when I came back, I actually found out that he committed suicide on the Thursday, and then, yeah, no one had found him until Friday when I was at work, and that tore me apart. Like, it was just really hard on me, because I blamed myself so much for that, because I thought I could have saved him. And now I look at it, and there was really no way I could have saved him. Unfortunately, like he was dealing with depression, like just ruthless depression, which I hadn't experienced yet. And yeah, I wouldn't have been able to tell. He disguised it very well, and I was actually talking to my mom yesterday, and she's been watching my videos, and she said she never saw any depression in me, so I guess I disguised it well too, because I didn't want to burden anybody with it. So yeah, I blamed myself about his death for so many years, and that kind of ate away at me in itself. And yeah, and almost 2 years ago now, I had a friend who I was really close with. I would have called him my brother. He was a really good friend of mine, and he moved away, and I didn't see him for quite a long time, because I was working, he was working in the oil field, so we didn't have a lot of time to see each other. But yeah, he was killed by a drunk driver, and yeah, that was 2 years ago, and it still eats away at me. So but I'm just saying, like, loss is a great burden on an already depressed individual. And if you lose someone that's really close to you, just immediately seek help, because I got into a car accident the same day that I heard he died, actually, because I was in such a poor emotional state, in such a poor mental state, that I wasn't safe on the road. And yeah, so I would really suggest going to see someone if you lose someone that's close to you, or at least talk to your family or friends, or Facebook message me, or just put something in the comments and get me to contact you or something, because we all need someone to turn to when we lose someone. It's just really hard to deal with by yourself. It's practically impossible to deal with by yourself. And yeah, too many people try and fight the good fight by themselves. It's hard to admit that you need help sometimes, but you just really need to talk to someone. And yeah, so those are my loss stories, and I also have some stuff to talk about with depression. But this video is getting a little long, so I'm gonna make that another video. I'll also talk about Charlie Hebdo in the next video. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to me spill my heart out, and yeah, if you have any suggestions for new videos, or